Greetings and salutations, everyone. I still have this thing set for Halloween. You can switch my little Nightmare Before Christmas incense bottle over from Halloween to Christmas time. Anyways, greetings and salutations, everybody. Welcome to another holiday entry on my channel. And for those who are new, I like to make these little videos about things I enjoy and want to share, usually about film. And lately it's been a lot of horror stuff and 80s and 90s throwbacks for films that I feel we don't really hear much about these days. And if you like what you see, please consider subscribing and hitting that little bell icon to get notifications for when I put up new content, which is usually once or twice a week. That way you can hop in during that first hour, check out the video, watch to the end, share it, and do all those things that really help out the channel quite a bit. Okay, now that that's out of the way, got another quick one here. Not as quick as the Thanksgiving one that I did last week, which is only 2 minutes, but another little quick one here. I want to talk about another film that I revisited recently for the first time in probably well over a decade, which is for the 1984 film Silent Night, Deadly Night. So, I think many are at least familiar with the title and the cover of the VHS having Santa with that axe, coming down the chimney. But if you haven't seen it or heard of even a synopsis of what exactly it's about, the synopsis is this. Little Billy witnesses his parents getting killed by Santa after being warned by his senile grandpa that Santa punishes those who are naughty. Now Billy is 18 and out of the orphanage, and he has just become Santa himself. So at the forefront of this, it seems like it's just going to be a general slasher film that they're just putting a Santa Claus suit on him. But, kind of like what we've seen as far as slashers go with Friday the 13th or Halloween or Black Christmas or even Texas Chainsaw Massacre in a way, where they kind of give us very little build-up about why the killer is killing, or at least, speeding us through that part of it. This one actually gives us a bit more and does, a little bit more with how all of this happened. So, though it is as expected, for horror, a short film with it only being about 79 or 80 minutes, they spend a lot of that time, like easily a third of it, if not more, bringing us along to see how Billy kind of becomes unhinged and goes on this killing spree. So instead of just having the killer and the focus is everybody getting away, this one takes a lot of time to build up what Billy's experience is across his life. So by the time he's 18 years old, and he is basically needing to dress up as Santa for a store that he's working at, it's pushing him over the edge because of his history, seeing his parents killed by somebody dressed up as Santa. So, I had seen this film before, but it was so long ago I had actually forgotten most of this, which was great because of what I like about diving into some of these films, revisiting them, is in a lot of cases it's been so long, and for various reasons I might have forgotten a lot about it. So I feel like this is kind of like coming into a film brand new for me. So what I really liked about this was that it did take that different kind of journey on getting us into the horror elements. He had a lot of the stuff with what's happening with his parents, what happens, his conversation with his grandfather, then ending up in the orphanage and then growing up, and then just slowly kind of being pushed and pushed and pushed until he just unravels and is on this killing spree. And then, of course, at that point, we're getting some really cool kills, all the interesting stuff that you want to see in horror. You want it to be scary, a little bit of mystery as far as, this is kind of uncovered more throughout. You don't have as much of the mystery because they're telling you exactly how he became this, who's going to survive the night, and just really seeing those interesting kills. And throwing it in with Christmas and with Santa, it's similar to what I like about Krampus and Black Christmas, two other films that I reviewed earlier, which I'll link to in the description, is that you get this unhinged horror aspect, these slashings going on, with the contrast to Christmas being all a happy, cheerful time to spend with friends and family. So yeah, it's very interesting to revisit this one, and I actually enjoyed it a lot more than I was expecting. I kind of thought going into it that maybe it either wouldn't have aged well, or since I'd forgotten so much of it and was seeming like a new film for me, that maybe just for some reason I wouldn't be as interested in it, considering it's from the 80s and there's, a lot newer stuff that kind of follows different kind of slasher themes. But it was very enjoyable. And now, I knew that there was at least 2 sequels, but it turns out I believe there's 5 sequels to this. I know that there's one, part 2 they have on Shudder, as part of one of the Christmas episodes that Joe Bob Briggs hosted on The Last Drive-In. And I do plan to watch more of the titles that they have made over the years. I believe they even made some of those sequels or spin-offs into the 2000s. But, you know, of course, since there's 5 others in the series, as you've seen with some series and some franchises, sometimes you can get that diminishing return on those sequels. You know, not really holding up to the original, or, you know, maybe the first 2 or 3 are good and then they start to kind of fall away. You know, you can see where I revisited the Friday the 13th franchise and the Nightmare on Elm Street franchise, and how certain installments, as you get further into it, don't necessarily work that well. But I do plan on at least checking out a few more of those, especially part 2 since it's on Shudder. But, you know, because some of the ones after that, like especially after part 3, I didn't even know that they made any more after that. I kind of didn't really pay attention to this franchise. So it's going to be interesting to check those ones out. But anyways, Silent Night, Deadly Night from 1984. You got an interesting kind of setup, a lot of backstory on how the killer becomes unhinged, some really cool kills, and against that Christmas theme, it really was a lot of fun to check out. And speaking of checking out, thanks for checking out this very quick video of mine, this latest entry of mine, and sticking around to the end, as it does help out quite a bit. And of course, I will be doing some more of these Christmas videos, and I'm going to try to work in a few more, maybe non-Christmas specific ones. So be sure to like and subscribe and hit that bell so you get notifications for when I put up that new content, and I will see you in the next one.